Welcome to the Cult Classic Horror Show. Every week, you can have the conversations you've always wanted to have about the films you love.
Shut up!
We're gonna get you. Not another peep.
Get rid of your distractions and prepare yourself.
Then lock your door. 5, 6, gonna cruise up this.
You got a big surprise coming to you. You're not going anywhere.
Welcome everybody to the Cult Classic Horror Show. Danny Bonin with you here.
And Scotty Bonin with you guys.
We are the Blood Brothers. And we're missing the fat guy.
Oh,
Rob
wait.
O'Neill.
And? Oh, damn it. He's not there.
No.
Shit.
Fucking right.
On Halloween, too.
His fucking camera job keeps him away from the podcast.
Yeah, he's out there surveying the lands of Florida.
Although I am going to call him on my cell phone here in like a minute. Just to catch him at work.
He couldn't make it tonight. Yeah.
Rob can't be here. If this is your first time ever listening to our podcast, we usually have a third, the Rob.
The Rob's usually here with us. Our threesome here.
It is Halloween. Today is Halloween, October 31st.
Happy Halloween.
We're trying to really slip this podcast in between all the activities we have going on today. Me and Scotty are going to go see Bruce Campbell tonight, host Last Fan Standing in Denver.
Cannot wait. One of our idols for sure. A cult classic hero.
I wonder how they pick the contestants.
Yeah, I wonder if we're going to have to answer any
they have contestants on
questions.
stage answering trivia. I don't know if they are pre-picked. Do they pick them from the audience?
Hopefully we're candidates. That'd be fucking awesome to go up there with him.
I don't know a whole lot about sci-fi, but it's sci-fi, horror, superheroes, and something else.
I bet you'd be surprised how much you knew about sci-fi if you actually got the questions answered.
Maybe.
I just can't wait to see that beautiful chin, beautiful
All right,
black hair.
I'm gonna call Rob and put it on speaker here right now and see if he answers. Let's see
if he does.
All right. Since he can't make the podcast. All right,
are you gonna you're gonna speakerphone it in? We're calling him on work. He's probably out.
Hey, you there? Oh, fuck. It's supposed to be on speaker.
Put it on speaker, man. We got to get Rob in for Halloween.
All right. Talk.
I'm here.
Oh, I can hear him. Rob, you were on the Cult Classic Horror podcast. We missed you.
I'm on the Cult Classic Horror podcast now?
You're talking from speakerphone on my phone into my microphone. Hopefully it's loud enough.
I mean, that's how we do it. We, spared no expense. We bring you the latest and greatest technology.
You sound like a stuffed up midget in a third dimension.
I mean, it could very well be. I just came from Panama City, so that's probably close to it.
Are you driving right now?
Well, yeah, I just parked.
Nice.
I'm slammed trying to get everything done on Halloween. Maybe we should have thought better about this.
We're not very smart.
I know. We should have pre-recorded this like way before Halloween.
I just wanted to call you real quick to see how much you hated this movie.
No, I love this movie.
What?
This is like one of my favorite movies.
See, it is a great movie. By the way, guys, we are doing trick or treat.
I do love trick. Now, I mean, we're talking like Trick or Treat 1982, right?
No, 2009. Fuck are you talking about?
Oh, damn it! I watched the wrong one then.
There is no Trick or Treat 1982.
Or Trick or Treat. I guess this is 2007, 2009.
No, 2007. No, I like this movie. This movie's great. I mean, it's probably like the best anthology film. One of the best besides like Creepshow, I think.
Yeah,
it's pretty good. It's got it's got a small amount of boobers. It's got some decent effects, although there's like the werewolf is a little cheesy, but them transforming is pretty cool.
Yeah, no, and I thought how they tried to entangle a lot of the stories together was interesting with the school bus driver at the end, and how it all comes back to the beginning where the woman is killed in the front yard.
Yeah.
I thought it was really good, and then of course the school bus kids story turns out Brian Cox is the school bus driver. I really liked it. It's not the greatest movie, but I can't hate on it. I think it's a Halloween classic.
It is
for me. I think I watch it 2 or 3 times, like every year. Upcoming, it gets you in the mood.
It does. It totally gets you in that Halloween mood for sure.
This is the first time I've seen it.
First time you've seen this movie?
Yeah, I've never watched this.
I've seen it on TV before, but it was years ago, so I haven't seen like it completely front to back.
I'm not obsessed with. There are some people that are like massively obsessed with Sam, the jack-o'-lantern kid.
Yeah.
But it's a good movie. I think it's a really good. I think it's a good movie, but it's like a fantastic anthology film because so many of the anthology films honestly really suck. If you go down the list of all the anthologies, there's really only a couple that stand out as being very good, like Trick or Treat. Creep Show, the VHS, like the first VHS, I thought was good.
I like VHS,
but for the most part,
Demon Knight,
Demon Knight,
Tales from the Hood. I don't know.
Tales from the Hood, yeah.
But and I think the other thing is, I'm pretty sure this movie. I thought it was pretty financially successful too, which is kind of rare for anthologies.
It's got a couple people in it. Brian Cox.
Yeah, it's got a solid cast for sure. And, it's got Leslie.
Brian Cox was in our recent favorite Autopsy of Jane Doe.
Oh, Autopsy of Jane Doe is amazing.
Oh, yeah.
I need to rewatch that.
And he's the original Hannibal Lecter from Manhunt.
That's right. That's right. He is.
Yep.
Manhunter.
That's right.
You got Dylan Baker in it as Principal Stephen Wilkins. He's just a cool, creepy guy. He's been in so much stuff.
I forgot about that. Yeah, every little storyline in it I thought was well thought out. I thought it was really, really good, and the principal was great. He turns out to be the night vampire guy.
Yeah, like the Night Stalker vampire guy,
the fake vampire who's in over his head.
But he loves blood. He loves to bite women's necks.
I guess so. He confused me a little bit. He's like killing kids, but then he's dressing up as a vampire and trying to rape women. I don't know what's going on.
He's a serial killer, but he just likes to kill any way possible.
He's like that. Who's that killer that likes blood, that liked blood so much? What was his name?
That was Richard something.
Fuck.
Richard Chase. Richard Chase.
Was it Richard Chase?
Yep.
Are you sure?
Yep. Yeah. He loved blood. Yeah, Richard Chase, serial killer.
Yes. He would literally take a rabbit and put it in a blender and then just drink that.
Oh yeah. He would go to humane societies and like pet shops and just buy dogs and bring them home and kill them and then just drink their blood.
Yeah, but he would put the entire rabbit into the blender.
Yeah, that's
and
disgusting.
Just drink that. Yeah, and what else was he would bathe in blood and he would.
He was mainly stuck on animals, and then it wasn't good enough for his fix, so then he moved on to humans.
And he always thought that he was like running out of blood, like he was losing blood. So if he drank blood, it would replenish his blood.
Yeah, he thought his stomach was like deteriorating and stuff.
Yeah,
and
weird disease.
Was losing blood. He thought his body was losing blood, so he needed to drink more.
Sort of like Rob and food. He thinks
that's right.
Yeah, he always needs more.
That's
hey, man,
better than blood.
I didn't even eat a whole large pizza last night, even though I had the opportunity to do so.
Were you out of town last night?
No, I was in town. I just wasn't gonna cook. I'm not a savage.
Did you go to Old Chicago?
We don't have an Old Chicago.
You don't have Old Chicago down there?
Deep dish pizza or old Chicago style?
Chicago style pizza or something?
You've never heard of Old Chicago?
No, I've never heard of Old Chicago.
Are you fucking shit?
I think there'd be one down there.
As a ripoff. Dude,
Old Chicago's like a chain, like Chili's.
What's Chili's?
Don't even.
Shut up. You know Chili's, Applebee's, Chili's.
I know Chili's. I've never heard of Old Chicago.
Okay.
You're fucking me right in the ass.
Maybe Old Chicago.
I mean, I don't believe there's an Old Chicago in the state of Florida.
Maybe it's just like
know about that.
a Midwest East Coast thing.
Well, East Coast.
No, maybe not. Maybe Midwest West thing.
Well, when you come to Colorado, we'll go to Old Chicago.
And Old Chicago, shouldn't there be a couple
I'm
in
trying to get to
Chicago?
Colorado, but nobody's bought me a plane ticket.
I already told you I got higher paying work for you up here the day you get here.
I'm not for certain about that. I haven't received a job application or a contract.
there's no
Guaranteement.
It's all under the table. There's no records of anything.
Man, I can't be doing under the table. I'm an upstanding citizen.
Under the table hand job.
Shit. UTTOTPHJ.
That's exactly. I was just about to say that.
Exactly.
Under the table over the pants hand job.
Ooh.
Anyways, you just let us
What are
know.
y'all doing for Halloween?
We're going to see Bruce Campbell, Last
Yeah.
Man Standing.
Yeah, he'll only be there for 5 minutes.
Yeah, he's going to lead the
He's
stage.
the host of the whole show.
He's going to have
Yeah, well, he was top billing on Intruder too, and that didn't work out.
Yeah, well, that was your fault for not looking into it.
Hopefully he doesn't have like a co-host that he only appears for like 10 minutes and then he leaves
Yeah,
and
it's
then his
Danny
co-host. Yeah, exactly. Danny's going to take the kids trick-or-treating though, and I went to a Halloween party on Friday and stuff, so
I gotta take the kids trick or treating real quick before I go see Bruce Campbell, but I don't have a costume.
Your kids aren't old enough to trick or treat.
Well, one of them, my daughter's 2. She can trick or treat.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess that counts.
We're going with my niece. She's like 10
You're gonna steal all the candy,
or
That's
set
what you
or
gotta
8.
do.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna be eating some candy. I'm going off the diet tonight.
I'm taking all the Reese's Pieces. They're mine.
yeah, it's going
That's
to
the penalty.
be
My kids
Reese's.
don't pay rent.
Mine's Milky Way. I want all the Milky Ways.
I hear there's
That's disgusting.
No, sir.
Guess what I hear?
No, nougat is gross. Why would you eat a Milky Way?
Everyone listening to this episode is like, what a shitty episode. I can't even fucking hear this guy.
I know. No.
Well, I mean, I can't help it. Damn it! My schedule is booked. I have children.
You have to go trick-or-treating with your children too, right?
Yeah, I still got to go get them and get them ready to go. And
Yeah,
then,
but yours are old enough. You don't have to go with them, do you?
well, I mean, this is Florida, man. There's people running around here on bath salts and shit. I can't have my kids wandering around by themselves.
Oh, all right. Okay.
No, that my neighborhood does a big Halloween. Like every other house is decorated and haunted houses and spookiness, all kind of creepy spookiness out here.
Yeah.
Is Chief dressing up?
No, he's cantankerous. He doesn't like the doorbell ringing, so we just leave a bucket of candy on the front porch.
You know, one kid's taking all of it, like in this movie.
Yeah. The kid.
Yeah, this movie does have some really good, like lessons, or like the people that get it, you don't feel bad for. Like, I mean, I guess the only person I feel bad for is the blonde chick that gets it in the beginning. She really didn't do anything wrong.
That's
well, she blew out her pumpkin.
Kind of get what they deserve.
She blew out her pumpkin.
yeah,
That's what she did wrong.
she broke Halloween tradition, which this movie follows Halloween tradition to like a T, and then Sam, put on his burlap bag hat or sack over his face and went and took care of her.
I never heard of that tradition, by the way. I'm not familiar with it besides this movie.
You have to leave your pumpkin lit until the candle burns out by itself.
That will keep the demons. It's an old, I guess, what is it? It'll keep the demons away from you?
Yeah, they'll keep the demons.
Scotty looked
of
up
night.
the old traditions. He can explain more on that.
You guys
Y'all have pumpkins in Colorado?
Oh yeah.
What
I got 2 on my front step.
kind of question is that?
No, I mean, it's like desert. I didn't think y'all had
What's that?
had, like.
It's green as shit here.
Well, I mean, it's pretty deserty there.
No.
I mean,
It's drier.
because it's got pine trees.
No. It's
Definitely more dry, but
there's not that many pine trees in Longmont. You got to get over into like Lyons.
yeah.
Where the flood
Where the
happened,
flood
the
came
took
through.
all the pine trees with it.
No, almost.
I got 2 pumpkins on my
Y'all
doorstep.
have like lawn. You've got like grass.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's a nice lawn.
I got mine's still bright green.
It's better than your patchy landscape you have in your yard.
Hey, That's
Swampy-
just because I'm a renter and I don't
Swampy
care.
high grasslands.
I'll have you. What was I just going to say? I was just going to say something. God damn it.
You carved your pumpkins.
Oh, I did. Oh, that's what I was going to say. I carved my pumpkins 2 nights ago. And I used to do something real scary. And now that I have kids, we have a Mickey and a Minnie pumpkin.
Oh, I saw it on the way in. They carved
Oh,
Mickey and
what kind
Minnie
of weakness
faces.
is that?
My daughter loves Mickey and Minnie, and I wanted her to see the pumpkins with Mickey and Minnie in them.
I carved angry faces, and I have a skeleton on my front porch sitting in a chair with spider webs and bloody blankets.
I'll have you know, I
Sheets.
didn't get a chance to decorate much because I was in Mexico. But when I did pull out these 2 big plastic light up pumpkins I have 2 nights ago, and then we had a random windstorm, and I had to pull them right back in, but not before one of them blew literally 2 blocks down my neighborhood.
Oh, shit. Did you get it?
Oh my God.
I'm not even joking. Like it blew over, so I set it back up on its top, and I was like, all right, I'm just gonna go inside and walk around and open the garage door and pull these in. And then I opened the garage door, and one of them was just literally gone, nowhere in sight. I was like, what the fuck? And I walked to the end of my block and looked to the right to the end of the other block, and I saw it like way down there under someone's trash can.
Oh, my God. So, well, good thing you found it.
I got it. I got my pumpkin back. My
I
plastic
feel, I
pumpkin.
feel bad. I don't even have a pumpkin this year.
What? You didn't carve a pumpkin?
I didn't have a pumpkin this year.
Dude, you got to have a
That's how
pumpkin.
busy I've been. I don't even have a pumpkin.
The demons are coming to get you. You don't have a
No, they
pumpkin.
can't because I don't have a pumpkin at all. That's different. I'm not even playing their game.
Oh, so if you have a pumpkin but it's not lit, then they come get you.
Exactly. So
But if
I
you
found
don't
the
even have
loophole.
one, I don't think that's true.
Yeah, I kind of...
I'm pretty sure that's true.
Anyways.
Yeah, I kind of went all out. I put some gravestones in my yard, did the skeleton, pumpkins, and not too, just on the outside, not on the inside. So,
What are you driving?
Yep, I'm driving again.
are you going to a work spot?
No, I'm headed to go pick up the kids and do all that, and then I'll be headed home finally by dark to do trick or treating.
Nice.
I've been in the truck all over the place today since 4:30 this morning.
Jeez.
Wow.
Gosh, and it's I guess it's almost 6 there.
All right.
Yep, almost 6 now. Well, what was my? I got to go in just a minute, but
All right.
what was the favorite story of you guys? I'm sure that's what we want to talk about.
Yeah, the favorite story. So there was like 4 stories in this, and I don't know. It's they all relate. There are 4 horror stories that relate. and
If you
have a common-
haven't,
yeah.
if you haven't guessed it already, my favorite sequence is the whole Brian Cox and Sam sequence at the end because
Yeah.
it just reeks of Evil Dead 2.
Yes.
You got the hand, you got the shotgun, the shotgun there. It's
Yeah.
it's obviously carries influence.
and
from
it's
that.
got the hand he shoots off, the
That's right,
hand
yeah.
walking around. Yeah, I think if I had to pick one, the first one would be Brian Cox and Sam, their infamous fight scene at the very end there, and then everything tying together. That or I did like the school bus too. The school bus.
Well, it's sort of
scene
the same kind of sequence. I mean,
with the kids and stuff.
he's part of the story, but it's not really this sequence. I
Yeah.
guess. What
But
about
yeah,
you?
That was my favorite.
What about you?
My favorite is not Brian Cox and all that is my second favorite, but my first favorite is it probably has to be the principal. I just like the whole
Yeah.
twisted thing, and he's the kid's puking up blood and everything else like that. And Brian Cox, of course, is in it, but just that whole scene with him on the other side of the fence from Brian Cox, and, it's like,
Yeah.
Oh,
what
yeah.
the hell are you doing? There smells like a dead whore. Like it's just
Yeah.
Yeah.
that whole sequence of things was just was perfect. I thought that's probably my favorite. Although all of them are really good. The
They
werewolf
are.
scene is really good. The transformations are good.
Yeah.
I had to give this movie like 9 out of 10, man. I mean, it's the perfect Halloween movie. It's not like a cult classic to an extent of something that is 2007. It's not that old, but I mean, this is definitely a movie that people will still be watching every year, 20 years from now.
Yeah.
This movie will hold up
Yeah.
forever.
Yeah,
It will definitely
I agree
hold
with you.
up.
Ah.
Yeah, it's a classic Halloween. It really gets you in the Halloween spirit. It is Halloween, pretty much. You know, it's just
Yep.
everything about it. So yeah, those are my two favorite scenes for sure. The principal and then Brian Cox at the very end.
You got to go?
Yeah, I'm pretty much pulled into my folks to go get the kids, to go trick-or-treating and all that stuff. I'm sorry I couldn't be on longer, but I hope everybody has a happy Halloween. I hope you guys have fun. I hope Bruce Campbell hangs around for more than 5 minutes like he did in Intruder.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. I'm sporting CCH shirt, too.
Heck yeah, I'm sporting a Evil Dead
you got,
shirt.
Like, backstage passes? You gonna go meet Bruce?
No, not that I know of.
You gotta throw yourself at him.
We'll keep you posted.
Yeah,
You gotta rush the stage.
I will. I'll rush it and get taken out by security.
Oh, Bruce Campbell will take you out himself. He shouldn't need security.
Yeah. He's got his chainsaw and gun ready.
We'll let you get back to your camera job.
Yeah, man.
It's not a camera. It's a total station. Damn it! It measures distances and angles.
That's right. Definitely tell the kids and Panda happy Halloween from us too, man.
Yep. I wish I was a photographer.
Yeah. You know what? I have an important job, Danny. I build and help create roads and infrastructure.
Oh, okay. All right. I'll someday I'll understand that.
Yes. Well, y'all have a great Halloween. I'll talk to you later.
All right, man.
Talk to you
Likewise. Later, man.
Bye.
All right.
All right.
There he goes.
Rob is out. Over and out.
I can have my microphone
He
back.
came in very scratchy. Hopefully it came through on your end.
I hope
good,
so.
you
Who
guys.
knows? It looks like it did. We'll see.
It's Halloween, you know. You got to come. You know, we got to have all three of us here. It wouldn't be the same without him. And even if he does come in, can't hardly hearing him and scratchy.
So back to this lore surrounding this movie. Yeah. So what? You would put the pumpkins out to keep demons away?
Yeah, I guess that was one of the things. I mean, it was all. I guess if you want to go back to the old like Celtic times, so the name of the character Sam is derived from the Samhain, the Samhain, whatever, ancient Celtic festival of the dead, from which modern day Halloween is derived. Despite having been portrayed as such in this film and several other works, the Samhain is not a deity or other personages, personage of ancient Celtic polytheism. It is
Whoa.
only
big words here.
the name of this celebration. I'm kind of reading this article.
I figured.
But yeah, so there's all these traditions that were back in the Celtic times,
So basically, what they're talking about here is the pumpkin keeps demons away, and then the treat does too, right? Because when it first started, it was all tricks.
Yeah, it was humans. It was humans tricking humans on.
And where did that? Why
Halloween
did they
night.
start tricking each other?
It was like a bunch of, I guess, kids causing mischief in the streets. But I guess it goes to the way back. Halloween was All Saints Day, then All Hallows Eve, and then it came to Halloween. All Saints Day was the Celtic mythology, and they would prank each other, I guess. When people who didn't like each other, they'd prank each other and set them up. And then kids started doing it, and then the adults had to get together to try to stop this. And the trick or treat pranking started in like the 1930s is when it really was like a thing. Obviously, the Celtic times goes back into like way back in the day, where the theme of dressing up and all, you know, of scaring each other came from like carnivals and where else did I have here? All Souls Day, which was a thing, way back in not our time, in like the 17th century. All Souls Day, there would be spirits and actual saints and demons that were haunting, and there was traditions that surrounded that. And all that is pulled into this film. Michael Dougherty did a ton of research, and he's the director and writer of this. And he like put so much time into not just making it another, Halloween movie, just like going to like the roots of what Halloween actually is.
Well, wasn't it at some point they would do sacrifices, right?
Yeah.
They would sacrifice. Okay, I thought I was overhearing that it was they would do sacrifices to whatever the demon, to the demons, to the gods, to not starve to death or something.
Yeah.
So they'd have a good harvest or something like that.
Yeah, that's
Is that what it was saying?
Yeah, that's what it was saying, and they would have the way they would sacrifice each other. It was an honor to get sacrificed, I guess.
An honor to get sacrificed.
And the way that it would happen is that they'd get in a group, and each person would have a piece of cake, a piece of whatever food, cake, sweet, and whichever cake had the black charcoal in the middle of it or underneath it, that would be the person to get sacrificed.
Or would they be up to get? Would they for sure get sacrificed if they had it, or they would just be?
They would be up to get sacrificed.
So they would get sacrificed.
Yes.
Oh.
So it would be an honor, and then that's how the people would eat. So that's how like the candy came in play, like trick or treat, give me something good to eat. The whole thing of people handing out candy or food or whatever is part of this whole mythology kind of thing. So.
Huh.
But yeah, it's pretty crazy. There's tons of stuff. There's a making of Trick or Treat, which we didn't get all the way through just because it's so crazy right now. But it talks about all this stuff, and you guys should definitely check it out. The making of Trick or Treat. It's like 27 minutes long, but
yeah, it talks about all these everything it's based off of. It also talks about how Dougherty, the director, huge fan of all this stuff. Wrote and directed this all these stories, and I guess was a real prankster on set tour with the crew and cast. So really, taking that trick or treat to heart.
He would always scare the shit out of Leslie Bibb, which is the blonde that gets killed in the very beginning and at the end too. I recognized her right away from the wife in Talladega Nights.
Oh yeah, and, that's what it is.
But she's also in Iron Man. She plays the reporter in Iron Man, in the first Iron Man.
Okay.
All of them have like a tie to X-Men because Michael Dougherty helped with X-Men. Anna Paquin, who played Little Red Riding Hood, played Rogue in 4 X-Men movies. X-Men, X-Men 2, X-Men Last Stand, and Futures Past. But and then obviously Brian Cox, it was in X-Men 2 as William Stryker. And then Dylan Baker played Dr. Kurt Connors, the Lizard Man in both Spider-Man 2 and Spider-Man 3. So all these Marvel kind of movies have a connection here because a lot of people in this movie were in Marvel movies as well. So it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Did you notice the little fat kid from Bad Santa?
Is that what? I guess he is from Bad Santa.
Thurman Merman.
Okay. I've only seen Bad Santa once or twice.
Do you want me to make you some sandwiches?
Oh, yeah.
What's with you and the damn sandwiches, kid?
That's right.
Yeah, so I recognized him. He's his story, I guess it doesn't come first, but, well, yeah, it's almost first because he breaks the tradition, knocking over all the pumpkins, stealing the candy out of the only take one candy bowl. And then obviously, the principal poisons him with the candy. And that was always a thing that Michael Dougherty wanted to do. He always wanted to
poison kids with candy?
Do a scene where he poisoned a kid with candy or poisoned someone with candy. So Principal Wilkins does that. I love Dylan Baker. He's kind of craziness. Like he could play a crazy guy.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But yeah, so these 4 Halloween stories obviously have the common element with Sam, the burlap bag, the mysterious child trick-or-treater wearing the shabby orange footy pajamas with a burlap sack over his head. And obviously he's kind of an iconic character now. I mean, I go to Spirit Halloween and you'll see his costume in like Spirit Halloween store.
Yeah, no, he's definitely become iconic. If anyone's become a cult classic in recent time, you know, that's it. I know a lot of people are talking about Terrifier, Art the Clown, who's destined to become a cult classic and is already, you know, attaining that status. Although I haven't fucking watched it yet, even though it's on Netflix now, which I will watch.
Yeah, I need to watch it too.
That Sam is definitely. I mean, people have tattoos. People.
Oh yeah.
People love that guy. So yeah, even though this was what you said 2007, the Amazon I watched said 2009.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
It was slated to release in 2007 for Halloween release, but Warner Bros. Without explanation or reason pulled the film from the schedule, and no rescheduled date was announced. A reason might be because Saw 4 was slated to release around the same time in 2007. And maybe Warner Bros. didn't want to compete with it. Another possible reason was buried by the studio was that possible fallout from the box office disappointment of Superman Returns, which was co-written by Trick or Treat writer Michael Dougherty and produced by Bryan Singer, which also produced Trick or Treat. So there's a theory there. But then the release, so then they wanted to release in 2008 for Halloween, but that didn't happen, and possibly early 2009, but neither release was ever happened, so the film was finally released straight to DVD in October 2009.
Yeah.
And there was limited releases in like theaters and around just in certain cities, like in LA and stuff. But yeah, it's too bad. I mean, you think if this would have got released in 2007, it would have got a bigger following and, you know, a bigger box office. But it's just too bad that it didn't do better than it. Because I liked it a lot. I thought it was good.
Yeah, no, I thought it was good too. What'd you say didn't box office again?
This didn't box office?
Yeah.
I don't have a box office for it. It's just, I think it was straight. I mean, there wasn't enough accumulated for a box office because it only was a limited release in theaters. Most of it was from DVD, was where they made their money. But the budget was $12 million on it.
Huh. Yeah.
So,
all right.
82 minutes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just love how Sam, he makes an appearance in each story.
Yeah.
And whenever
he's like the old cartoon guy in the Creep Show.
And he only makes an appearance whenever, I guess Dougherty wanted to do this, whenever a character breaks a Halloween tradition. So you would see him at that point. Holy fucking shit on my ass.
Wow.
God, Sam just scared me. I think he's here in this room.
That wasn't that. No,
that was bad.
Just means it's time for the horror halftime.
Do we get a winner?
Well, I mean, we had a lot of participants, but all previous winners. So I do have an honorary horror freak of the week because of my personal favorite meme, who won't really win anything. But I struggle with this because my favorite meme came from Lansdale. Lansdale,
LD.
in my eyes, you are the honorary horror freak of the week. It's just it's the Rob. It's Van Damme with Rob's face.
Many.
Van Damme's with Rob's face.
Superimposed.
Training for the Kumite because he's if he doesn't win the lottery. Although that did have nothing to do with the Stepford Wives. So that's why I struggled with it. You know, I don't know. Maybe. So yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it still works. I mean, it's still a good meme, you know, and it's for last week, so it still works.
Yeah. No, it works. So that was my favorite. But all you guys did awesome.
Tons of good ones.
Keep participating. Oliver B. again, Josh McBride. I mean, David Martin, Lance Dale, Freddie Torres had some awesome news ones.
Who's the one? Was it Freddie Torres that superimposed Ty's head on
I think
Joanna's face?
That might have been David Martin.
David Martin, yeah.
So
shopping in the supermarket.
Keep submitting them, you guys. We'll reset. Maybe like January or maybe even for December. We'll just reset it all and then start over, and we'll send you something new. Like if you already have a shirt and stickers, we can send you. I don't know. I'll figure something else out. We got other stuff we can send. So
yes,
we'll reset it, and you can start winning some stuff again. But yeah, my favorite, Lansdale's Bloodsport Rob. Loved it. Yeah. So
Yeah, there's a lot of good ones, but we need some new ones for Trick or Treat.
Yeah, need some new
Come on,
people for
guys.
Trick or Treat.
This is
Submit
like
your meme.
the Halloween movie. There's so many good ones in this.
Yeah. So get your meme submitted next week for Trick or Treat. I'm not sure what we're covering next week yet. We have a couple we want to sneak in. We'll probably figure something that fits in November so that we can start doing holiday-themed movies in December again. So if you have holiday-themed requests, make sure you post them in the group. Tag me or Scotty and Rob, or tag all three of us, and we'll add it to the list possibly to do in December. 'Cause
Definitely.
there's not a whole ton of them out there, and we did cover most of the like favorites over the last two Christmases. So yeah, just post them and we'll see if we can cover them.
Yes.
All right,
Requests are good.
That concludes the horror halftime.
The garage noise. So Rob, oh sorry, you go first.
So I was a little confused of when this is actually taking place, because at first, in the first story, we have the guy, he has popping a VHS tape into like a TV VCR combo.
Yeah.
But then the werewolf girls have cell phones.
And then you see,
But then Brian Cox's TV is old as shit, and he has a
Yeah.
switch thing.
I think it was present day 2007. I mean, because you see, even when it like goes from the first scene and goes all the way full circle to the very end, the car that pulls up is like a nice Audi. You know?
Okay.
Remember
Yeah,
that?
That's
so
true.
it's like, oh wait,
I guess that gives it away. They just had shitty old TVs, both
yeah.
of them.
Yeah. Brian Cox had a shitty TV, and yeah, he was an old man. He was pent up in his house ever since the school bus accident. He disappeared. No one ever saw of him, and he never left. So he just stuck with what he had, for 30 years ago.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But-
well, that's what those things are classic.
Yeah. And I actually, speaking of some of we were on the making of, so I guess dressing up, when people started dressing up, that kind of started in like the 1940s. And that was like mainly like the cheaper costumes with, the sheet and you cut out two holes in it. But it was more, it didn't really get to like more of a variety till like the 1950s, to where people would dress up as their favorite superhero or their favorite, rock star, celebrity, monster, villain. And then obviously, by the 60s, it was more commercially driven, and it was everywhere.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and Rob was saying there was a 1986 trick or treat.
He was fucking around.
No, but there actually is 1986 trick or treat, but that's trick or treat with an OR, not this trick or treat is trick
Treat.
semicolon R treat. And the Trick or Treat 1986 is about a bullied teenage boy devastated after the death of his heavy metal idol Sammy Kerr.
Ooh.
And I know Ozzy Osbourne's in it, so
What?
I'm not sure if he doesn't play Sammy Kerr. He plays the Reverend, but Tony Fields plays Sammy Kerr. But I don't know if that's a classic, but I've never seen that one. This one is obviously more of a Halloween classic, but that one got a 5.8 out of 10 on IMDb.
Ooh.
But yeah, we didn't cover that one because this one's a lot better.
Yeah. I don't know. I've never seen that one.
Yeah, so you never know. You never know. A couple things about this one too. Most of the jack-o'-lanterns were made out of either foam or ceramic. An on-set joke was that no pumpkins were harmed during the making of this movie.
Oh, it looks like they were.
Yeah, I mean Thurman Merman, he was freaking crushing pumpkins. His name is Brett Kelly, by the way. And he was in the newest Bad Santa too. He's all old now, and not as funny as he was when he was a little kid.
Yeah.
They had to tape a tube to the left side of his, or the right side of his mouth, in order to shoot the chocolate syrup / blood out of his mouth, and obviously in the movie it's shadowed so you can't see it. But,
Yeah.
that was a cool scene. I loved him just puking blackness out.
Yeah, that was cool. I thought it was weird in the first story that she starts taking decorations down and it's still Halloween.
Yeah,
Who does that?
yeah. That's breaking the tradition. That's why she got done in.
But just in life, does anyone really just? It's
No.
like still Halloween. You're taking your decorations down. like on Halloween
No,
night?
never. I wait for like 2 weeks, more.
Also, did you notice in the bus scene when they're retelling the bus story, and he goes back, he's giving candy to everyone? The first person on the left had like either they were a very old person playing
Yeah. Oh, I saw that.
the hands. You know, they looked like they were old people hands.
Oh, yeah.
And aren't those supposed to be kids?
Yeah, and there was some you could see wrinkles and gray hair.
It's
on the back. No, actually, I did read this. There was a lot of little people that were in this movie. It was filmed mostly at night, all filmed on location in British Columbia. Mostly at night, obviously, because it's dark out in the movie most of the time. So the schedule didn't permit for kids to be out that late, I guess. So a lot of little people were used for this
kids
movie.
Gonna be all right.
So I imagine some of those kids on the bus were a lot of little people, dwarves, or would you say? So I did notice that though. I'm like, that kid had like wrinkles on the back of his neck and gray hair.
Yeah, there was a couple things like that. And then when those kids get to the rock quarry with the pumpkins, all the candles are in them still lit.
Yeah,
There's no
fucking way.
They would carry the pumpkins in a shopping cart or even themselves all the way across town, and the candles would still be lit inside of there.
Yeah.
There's just no way.
And then there's the one lit after all the mayhem happens. She's carrying it and falling down and she gets back in the thing or she tries to get back in the thing and then it's all a joke and her pumpkin's still lit too.
Yeah.
I'm like, no way. And then I think when the principal kills his first lady victim when he's the guy in black with the fangs, he just like sets her on the sidewalk all bloody there.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, I don't know if that would happen.
Shannon watched this with me, and I didn't notice, but she said during that scene that time, there's like a couple making out for like the entire time. Mm-hmm. They just were making out for an unnormally long amount of time.
I think I saw that.
Football player and someone else.
I didn't really notice it too much.
She's like, write that note down. They're making out way too long. I was like, oh, okay.
Oh my
Maybe
God.
you should be on the podcast.
Yeah, Why don't you come on the podcast and say it? There's another thing where this is kind of a little far-fetched, but Danielle, one of the girls that gets changed in the Spirit Halloween shop, tells the guy to meet them at the Sheep's Meadow.
Oh, yeah.
But this foreshadows their late reveal as werewolves as it plays off that they're a wolf in sheep's clothing. Because they turn into wolves and then the Sheep's Meadow. I didn't see that coming though. I really didn't see them turning into wolves coming.
I didn't either. I thought that maybe they were vampires after a minute, and then it was just
because you see the principal, Dylan Baker, get thrown off the tree, and he's in her Little Red Riding Hood, and there you go too. She's Little Red Riding Hood, and the wolf eats Little Red Riding Hood, but she is a wolf.
Yeah,
see, but then he's the one that gets thrown. I'm like, oh, what the fuck's going on here? She must have superpowers. And then
I was confused for a minute. Yeah,
I'm like, oh, here we go. And then it was like a whole wolf seance scene dancing around the fire pit.
Yeah, I was confused for a minute for sure. I don't understand how the principal gets hot girls like that. I guess because he's in his costume.
Yeah, he's in his costume. Yeah, he
can't tell who he is.
He looks sexy. Yeah, there's a lot of, I guess there was a lot of playoffs from older movies, like Little Red Riding Hood, girl's name is Laurie. So Laurie Strode from Halloween.
I noticed that.
And then Brian Cox, Michael Dougherty wanted to go with, his character is kind of based in like Michael Myers Halloween, where the face is kind of all like demented, and then The Thing where it kind of changes, John Carpenter. But yeah, I don't know. I didn't really get that. I noticed her name was Laurie, but I didn't really get it.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, I caught it. I was like, Laurie, huh? Oh,
yeah.
Like Halloween.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, it's obvious Evil Dead 2 reference to the shotgun in the hand.
Oh, it has to be.
So,
because then the hand comes up and stabs him, and then it's crawling around, and that was badass though. And then obviously he keeps shooting it, and it doesn't die.
Yeah,
it keeps coming back to life. Yeah, that was definitely cool. There was some cool effects, I guess.
Yeah, no, there was some good stuff in it. I liked it. I liked the movie. It was good.
I liked it a lot.
It was. This is not usually the type of movie we cover as far as how new it is. So sometimes it's a refresher because the oldies are. I've said this before. The old movies are classic. Mm-hmm. They're awesome. They have a certain feel about them. Like a '70s horror movie has a certain just creepiness about it.
Oh yeah, I love it.
But I mean, I think deep down inside, we all sort of know that some of these newer ones are just easier to watch as far as, just easier to watch. Just
just done better.
How it's filmed, how the effects look. I know then there are exceptions to that. Like The Thing is fucking amazing. The effects in that.
And the music.
Even the effects in like Evil Dead aren't bad or anything. The first ones, obviously. Mm-hmm. There's a couple of things here and there, but still. But yeah, so sometimes these newer ones are just a little bit easier to watch. But yeah, it was. So it was newer than we usually cover, but it's like I had mentioned before, it's quickly becoming a cult classic, and that character Sam is already pretty much a cult thing, and so I figured we'd have to cover it.
Yeah, it's definitely, especially for this time of the year, it's a cult classic, Sam for sure. And everywhere that I looked up, facts and stuff, it's like talking about how much of a cult classic it's turning out to be, and it really didn't get the recognition it deserved. If it would have been released in 2007 when it was supposed to, I think it would have got better recognition. But then when it came straight to DVD, it went in 2009. It won a bunch of awards. It won the Fright Meter Award for best horror movie. Dylan Baker won the 2009 Fright Meter Award for best supporting actor. And this is actually it's based on Michael Dougherty's animated short film Season's Greetings. 1996. It originally was titled Season's Greetings. Actually, this movie was, but it was changed because it sounded too much like a Christmas film. Apparently, and then it was called Halloween Terrors, and then they scrapped that. Then they went to Jack-o'-lantern Tales. Then they scrapped that and went to October the 31st, and then Trick or Treat. But then they're like, oh no, the final title was kept for Trick or Treat, but since there was a movie already titled Trick or Treat, it was, they changed the spelling for Trick or Treat.
Yeah.
So,
the title's fine.
Yeah, I like it. Kind of like Halloween, Trick or Treat.
Yeah.
So it's, but yeah, obviously, Michael Dougherty's done a lot, but his favorite, like you said, his favorite genre and thing is horror and Halloween. But he went on to do, Superman and then the X-Men and stuff. So,
yeah.
Did you notice during a bunch of the scenes, there were the main characters were in the background too?
Yeah, you see them walk by each other.
You see them all the time.
Yeah, I think they wanted to have that feeling that this, they're intermingling and everything.
Yeah,
it's all happening at the same time, of course, and they're all in the same town, and so it was very much. It was an anthology, but it's different because.
Yeah.
Because it's all happening at the same time in the same place.
Yeah, it doesn't stop.
Yeah, like Creepshow, VHS, all those are completely separate from each other, completely separate entities. Whereas this, it's the location as far as the area is the same, the time frame is the same. It's just this is all happening at once. So
yeah,
I thought that was interesting.
It was cool how they tied it in together. They have and even the reporter in the beginning remarks. I don't know if you're listening, but she talks about werewolves, zombies, and demons of every variety have descended on the normally sleepy town of Warren Valley, Ohio, which is a fictional town. So this is foreshadowing the creatures that end up being revealed over the course of the film. The werewolves looking for the victims, the zombies in the rock quarry, and then Sam looking for candy. And to see that the rules of Halloween are followed. So, so that was pretty cool. I mean, it's a great idea, and I definitely liked it. Did you notice that he was watching House on Haunted Hill? Brian Cox.
I noticed he was watching something. I didn't catch what it was.
Yeah,
right away.
1959.
Yeah,
and then he had the Sweet Dreams from Marilyn Manson being played.
Yeah,
in the background, and I guess the ending credits on the remake of House on Haunted Hill is Marilyn Manson's Sweet Dreams too. That's just the tie-in there, I guess. But
Well, yeah, good movie. I think that's all the notes I had on it.
yeah,
So-
overall it was a good movie. Good cast, and the making of it looked like the cast just had a great time with it too. I mean,
Yeah.
they decorated the town. It was all filmed in British Columbia on set, so it was all it was all heavily decorated and make it look like Halloween night with the fall stuff going on too. But yeah, Brian Cox narrated it, and he said he just loved being in it, and so it's pretty cool. That I think there's a lot of actors and stuff that there's a lot of funness or whatever to be in these types of movies. Whether you're a big actor or a small actor too. So
Yeah. All right. Well, did you watch anything besides this?
I watched American Horror Story. I almost finished season 5 Hotel. So God, there's tons of blood in that. Tons of drinking blood in that too.
Really?
Yeah. That's good. That's all I watched.
I didn't watch anything. Just this. I've
Nothing?
been so swamped. Nope. I haven't been able to
Yeah.
take a second even. So I need
busy.
to watch a couple things so we can do some interviews, but I just haven't. Yeah.
Tis
get it done.
busy.
Yes, 'tis busy. And this.
What'd you guys watch? We can't hear him.
No. I'm sure Rob watched 8 TV series.
How does he have time when he
even
works?
though he has no time, he says.
He's like, I have no time. He can't. He doesn't have time to record the podcast, but he has time to watch
I guess so.
tons of movies. Well, I guess when he gets home and after work and it's late.
Yep.
Still.
Well, I guess this episode might be a little bit shorter than normal, but it's Halloween, guys. We got to get the hell out there.
Yeah.
We got to get going.
It's Halloween.
I
Hopefully you guys are
gotta
out
get
there.
going. I got to get my kids are Peter Pan and Tinkerbell.
We got to get ready. Yeah.
You got to get them out there.
Got to get the kiddos
some candy
ready.
going.
Get some
So,
candy.
Then I got to get to Bruce Campbell.
Got to see Bruce Campbell. It's going to be fun. Hopefully you guys are out there doing cool Halloween stuff, Halloween parties, drinking safely, hanging out with buddies, dressing up, or just hanging out at home watching movies and handing out candy to little kids.
That's sounds the best to me. Well, no, the Bruce Campbell does, but
Yes.
yeah. All right. Well, cool. Well, follow us at Danny Bonin, at Scotty Bonin, at Cult Classic Horror on everything except Twitter at CC Horror. Patreon.com/Cult Classic Horror. CultClassicHorror.com for blogs and our podcast episodes, and also a store with a bunch of different cool designs in it. Not only CCH designs, but we have some designs from movies and stuff that only other horror freaks will probably understand. And so go there, buy yourself a t-shirt, do some Christmas shopping. We'd appreciate it. All proceeds go to support this show and
Yes.
anything that CCH does. So, all right, guys. Well, thanks for joining us. We'll catch you next week.
Thank you guys. Have a good Halloween.
Don't you blame the movies. Movies don't create psychos. Movies make psychos more creative.
Oh, yes. There will be blood.